All right, for more on this, let's bring in House Majority Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota. Mr. Whip, do appreciate you joining us. I almost laugh out loud when I hear the Democrats talk about how Republicans are going to cave and that they're on the side of the American people. Are you kidding me? The only ones keeping the government closed are the Democrats. And they claim to love the government employees, but they're not going to get a check until Chuck Schumer and the Democrats get their act together and do what John Fetterman's doing and saying, hey, yeah, we will support and pay DHS employees.
Yeah, great to be with you, Jason. And if they say they love those employees, why do they want to hurt them so much? I mean, if you look at this, it's a ridiculous position. And Chuck Schumer lacks all credibility. Nobody buys anything that comes out of his mouth when he's talking about how these are such common sense reforms. Think about it, Jason. The reforms he's talking about are already in a bipartisan negotiated bill that was passed in the House. Republicans, Democrats had an agreement. They negotiated a bill. By the way, it has money for body cameras in it. That's one of the reforms they're now claiming they're fighting for. It's already in the Senate. Just vote for the darn bill. Another reform that they're claiming they want is they want ICE agents, immigration and customs enforcement agents, to identify themselves, to show identification. But they don't want identification for voters in elections. I mean, this stuff is just intellectually inconsistent. The last one is absurd. They want judicial warrants. And you know, Jason Chaffetz, that administrative warrants have 100% due process afforded to the subject of that warrant before it's issued. An administrative warrant is all that is required, and it's a false herring for these guys to suggest, oh, now we need a judicial warrant, because they know, Jason, that is going to delay any enforcement of the actual administrative warrant, which means mass amnesty, which is what they had under Joe Biden, and it's what they still want.
Yeah, 8 years under Barack Obama, 4 years under Joe Biden. I think that equals 12 years. I never heard him say boo about this until, of course, it was Donald Trump and, people like Tom Homan actually enforcing them. And ICE doesn't even get impacted by this. It's going to affect their check, but there are billions of dollars already set aside. They will still move forward.
Yeah,
I got to move forward with this. I got to move forward with this. Minnesota. In Minnesota, your home state, Tom Homan, the border czar, says a small force of ICE agents, they're going to remain in Minnesota. It sounds reasonable. Have a listen, and I want to get your reaction.
There will be a small force, a security force, what we call RFQs, that will, our security forces that will respond to when our agents are out and they get surrounded by agitators and things got out of control. Mm-hmm. And they'll remain for a short period of time just to make sure the coordination, the agreements we have with local and state law enforcement stay in place.
If they weren't a sanctuary state and they would actually cooperate even more with ICE, there would need to be even less ICE officers there. But this does seem reasonable at this point, does it not?
More than reasonable, Jason. And I mean, this all started in 2021 when a guy by the name of Mayorkas sent an email out telling everybody no more cooperation. And then we've got an attorney general who wrote a couple of advisory opinions that they suggest that state law prevents local law enforcement from cooperating with federal law enforcement. That just violates all common sense. These are all law enforcement officers, all charged with enforcing the law. This is what the issue is. And Tom Homan came in. Give President Trump credit. Tom Homan came in. He's brought the tension down. He's got cooperation now from the local authorities. Look, our law enforcement, Jason, wanted to cooperate. They want the worst of the worst, the rapists, the murderers, the pedophiles, the drug dealers. They want them off the streets. The Trump administration, with this surge, arrested 4,000 illegals. Among them were these rapists, murderers, pedophiles, drug dealers. They also picked up 3,000 missing migrant children, children that were lost by the Biden administration. This is a phenomenal success. And what Tom Homan's setting us up for is he's saying, we have agreements. Let's make sure that they continue. And if they do, guess what? Minnesota's going to be safer, and they're going to be able to put their resources elsewhere.
Yeah, until you can walk down the street at 8 o'clock at night and just do so in peace and safety, I'm telling you, The crime stats across the country are coming down, and it's because of the Trump policies that were put into place. Now, one of the other things that they're trying to put in place is that Save America Act. I mean, this idea that, you have to provide identification to be able to vote. I mean, the House got their business done, so congratulations there. What's your word to the Senate? What would you say to them?
Get it on the floor and pass it. This idea that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries suggest that this is going to somehow stop married women from voting, it's racist. It's amazing. They require a photo ID to allow someone into the Democrat National Convention, Jason. Why wouldn't you want the same thing for voters? And by the way, guess what? Over 70% of Democrats agree with this common sense approach. Put it on the floor. Let's not treat women. You worked with a lot of these women in Congress. They are brilliant. They're smart. Why do you suggest that they don't know how to prove their citizenship by bringing a passport or a birth certificate or a marriage certificate and or the new Social Security card that gets issued right after they get married? This is all nonsense. This is something that's common sense. Almost all Americans agree with it. Its time has come. You must prove that you're a citizen when you register to vote. Makes sense. You got plenty of time to get that done. And you got to show up with a photo ID to prove that you are the person that is indeed the citizen entitled to vote. It's an easy thing. It should be done tomorrow.
Well, and if they would get rid of the so-called zombie filibuster over there in the Senate, they could actually move some things. You want to filibuster? Great. You're going to stand on your feet and make your case until you collapse or you leave the room, just like Mr. Washington, goes to Washington. And that's what they're trying to do with the zombie filibuster, and getting rid of it is the step that you need to take in order to get through this. So,
and Jason,
House Majority Whip Tom Emmer.
Yeah, if they fight it, they just want fraud. Thanks, Jason.